Just 2 days away now in Denver, where the Broncos are coming off a shutout win against Tennessee, their second win in a row, and they are facing a team now that has lost 2 straight, though, as James Palmer reports from Inglewood. KC has a very different streak going against Denver.
Vaughn Miller reminded us today that the Broncos haven't beaten the Kansas City Chiefs since Peyton Manning retired, but he also added that he believes this Broncos team is the best one since Manning's departure. Now, lots going to fall on this defense trying to slow down the MVP and Patrick Mahomes, and Vic Fangio has made some key adjustments to the defensive line and linebacking group, but multiple players I talked to said that it's going to fall on the secondary. When I talked to safety Will Parks, he told me we want to try to show as many different looks to Mahomes as we can to try to confuse him, and he said we can do that because we have about 3 or 4 players in our secondary that can play multiple positions. Parks is one of them. He found out the day before the game against the Titans last week he was going to be playing nickel corner. And also Kareem Jackson, who they brought in free agency as a converted corner to a safety, last couple of weeks has been playing that safety spot brilliantly. This defense has 5 picks in the last 2 games, and they want that to continue against Mahomes on Thursday night. Now let's go to Jeff Chadia with the Chiefs.
Thanks, James. Well, in Kansas City, there's a lot of issues on the offense right now, with Patrick Mahomes being banged up, the offensive line having a ton of injuries, and they're committing a lot of penalties. But having Tyreek Hill back in the lineup is a big boost. He had 5 catches for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Houston Texans last week. And as Patrick Mahomes said, he makes a huge difference in this lineup. The Chiefs are seeing a lot of man coverage in the last couple games, but with Hill out there, defensive backs are backing off, they're playing looser, and it's allowing the Chiefs to make more plays down the field. Hill also has the ability to stretch the defense, and with this offense struggling to run the football, that's even more impactful. Andy Reid was also happy about the fact that Hill came out of that game without any issues. Obviously, he missed the last 4 games with a collarbone injury, but after Sunday night, he felt pretty good about where he was at. We'll see what happens against Denver.
They've got a lot to work on there in Kansas City, especially on the defensive side of the ball, frankly, where they rank 27th in yards allowed and 30th against the run. They've allowed a 100-yard rusher in 4 straight games now, and that has created all sorts of problems because it's allowed teams to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, assuming that that's going to be hard to turn around dramatically, immediately. Is there anything the offense can do to try and adapt to its new set of circumstances?
Yeah, to me, the issue with this Chiefs offense is their explosive mentality. And I know people are going to say, hey, Mike, I mean, he's throwing the ball with his left hand, no-look passes, all of these types of things. But on film, oftentimes you see possibly, I don't know, a 3rd and 4, and he's looking to go 50 yards down the football field as opposed to taking a check down or as opposed to taking the guy in the flat. I think they just need to work on that explosive mentality. Run the football a little bit more, D-Hall. I know you're a defensive back and you like throw the ball all over the yard, but, I mean, in the first 4 weeks, they were averaging 102 rush yards a game. In the last 2 weeks, 44.5 rush yards a game, right? And I know they've been in some games where they've had to throw the football to get back into it, but teams aren't allowing them to get behind them on defense. And then when you limit the explosive play from Patrick Mahomes and they get in the red zone, they're only scoring touchdowns at a 50% clip. So what that says to me is you got to play more of a brand of football where you can guarantee your success. And that's when somebody's lined up in front of you. My guy's better than your guy. I'm going to pick him up, move him to the side, and my running back is going to run right through. Yeah. That's how you do it in the red zone, and you know that.
But that's not how this Kansas City team is constructed. They're constructed with speed, athleticism. Obviously, when you have a player like Patrick Mahomes, he is the best player on their team, the league MVP. We want the ball in his hands. I think it's more so these guys just haven't been healthy. Think about it. When was the last time you seen Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins out there on the field at the same time?
It's been a minute, yeah.
And so when you're trying those explosive plays and you're going to a guy like Sammy Watkins, who I can remember vividly a catch that the DB should have picked, and Sammy just took it out of his hands and proceeded to run up the field. Tyreek Hill jumps off 1 foot, 40.5-inch vertical, goes and gets the ball over 2 defenders his first game back. They just need more repetition with those guys once they get a little bit more healthy. Tyreek was on a snap. I was about to say a pitch count.
Yeah,
a snap count. A snap count to where he didn't play a lot of snaps in that game, but still showed his impact of some of the plays he can make. Right here, you got this play right here where Tyreek gets an inside release. He turns that safety around. You talk about that speed, and that ball's there. To me, that's just a timing issue. And I would have liked to see Tyreek lay out for that, but maybe he's still worried about that injury, you know? And this play right here, Pat Mahomes just really can't step in. He's another guy that's not 100% healthy. We all know when he's healthy, he can scramble, ad-lib, make plays. I want the ball in his hands. I'm with you as far as they do need to run the ball a little bit more, but I don't think you need to run the ball to the detriment of this offense being explosive. That's what they're known for, and they got.
I agree.
They got all the weapons.
Don't run the football to the detriment of the offense. You run the football to win the game and help your defense out, right? Because that's the name of the game.
Defense bad.
You want to win the game, and you want to limit the exposure to that defense.
Their opponent this week, much better than they were earlier in the year. Denver's Diaz allowed just 13 points in their last 2 games, 7 sacks last week against Tennessee. We'll see what that translates to against KC Thursday night on NFL Network, Fox and Prime Video with a live Total Access postgame show coming.